So listen to what I'm saying, guys, on a serious note. I want you to understand debt is sent to control and manipulate you and wrap you up in some mummy wrap for a specific reason. There's a deeper purpose. You're servicing this debt to make other people financially successful. So what if you stop being the debtor and you start being the lender? People forget how to live. Here's my next point. I want you all to understand. People forget how to live and exist without debt. Most people have now, because you have to listen to the statistics. The credit card usage and debt in America is at an all-time high right now. It is ridiculous. It's at its worst. What does that mean? People have forgotten how to live, maintain themselves and their budget without using debt, without having to use their credit cards to survive from one month to the next. It is no longer normal to be able to pay for things in cash. When most people used to pay with their debit card or used to pay with cash, remember we used to have money on us? We have been desensitized by now swiping. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Every once in a while, I want you all to start waking yourselves up by going back, and this is going to sound ancient. Every once in a while, go to the ATM machine, pull $20 out, take it to the store, and give them some cash. Put some paper, $1 in their hand, and spend it that way, so that way you can always continue to have balance in your life. Although I know swiping, showing, screening, whatever is very convenient. We have been desensitized. And so it's not as much as an emotional exchange that we have to see the amount, the number amount, leave our hand to someone else. It is a digital exchange. And like I told you all earlier, digital transactions, we are now acquiring debt through a digital transaction that is leaving us physically bound and enslaved. Once again, this is Coach Steele's Finance Training. If you're listening in, please, if you're listening in, share this information. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Coach Steele's Finance Training. As we go through this, I want you to understand that paying for things in full, that concept, someone type in down there at the bottom for me the concept. Paying for things in full, paying for things in cash, whichever one you want. Just type in paying for things in full. I want you to understand that was a concept. That was a norm. That was just what people did. Pay for things in full. Patricia Ford says, a lender sounds pretty good to me. Yes, that's my mentality. I would rather have to lend to someone else. And of course, I receive the interest, the principal and interest payments, or I would rather lend to myself. There we go. So we have, oh, there go my girl, Vicky Billingsley. My. And so Alabama in the house. So we have Tony Sherman saying paying in cash. I know Tony Sherman don't mind paying in cash. And so also we have Vicky Billingsley saying paying for things in full. That's the mentality that we have to have. Why? Because if you mess around and you continue the pattern of not paying for things in full, and y'all have to listen, I have common sense. So therefore, I'm talking about being realistic. I know everyone cannot pay for their brand new house in full. Some of us may be able to, some people may not. But listen to what I'm saying. Having the mentality for paying for your groceries in full. How many people do that every month? That is becoming abnormal because most people have to put it on the card, and then we sometimes say, well, I'll pay for it when I get it, and then you don't do it. And then now your groceries, you're paying interest on your groceries from 5 months ago. Oh, there go my aunt. Aunt Ingrid. Love you. All right. So good morning to you, Aunt Ingrid. So happy to have you here listening in on Coach Steele's Finance Training. That is my father's older sister. So anyway, when we talk about the mentality of paying for things in full, it is a concept that is now becoming extinct in America. It is now becoming abnormal. There go my boy, Brandon. I like Brandon's last name. Brandon budget. And that's what I'm talking about. That is the mentality that I'm having. When we get down to the bottom of all of this, you have to know how to budget. You have to know how to maintain and manage your finances. You have to know how much you have coming in and how much you have going out. Why? Because once you know that, you know what you can afford and you know what you can't afford. But in America, when they give you a card, and let me make sure I put my card in the right direction so I don't show them no numbers or anything. I don't know who I got on here. When they give you a card, all we do is swipe. All we do is swipe. And so we do not have to budget. We do not have to figure out how much we have coming in and going out, because all I have to do is swipe this card. What am I telling you? This is a setup. At the end of the day, you still need to know what you have coming in and you have to know how much you have going out every month. Otherwise, we're playing a guessing game. And when you play that guessing game, that's when they're going to get the best of you. That's when they're going to come to you with the paper and tell you 0% interest for 15 months. And so now if I can get 0% interest for 15 months on something like this, and they're going to tell me I'm going to earn $20,000 in bonus, I'm going to rush to sign up, right? And once I rush to sign up, life is going to happen. And I keep running everything up for a year and a half, well, a year and 3 months. And then I have to come up with the money. Now I have to find the money to pay for all of that stuff. But something has now happened, tripped me up, and I don't have enough. It is a trap. It is called the debt trap. That is what I'm talking about today. Understand the debt trap. And I'm not saying not to use a credit card, but what I am telling you today is you need to be very strategic if you are. If you're going to use debt, you need to know how to be low gearing and not high gearing in your business. Patricia Ford says, budget is very important, but sometimes I don't seriously. Okay, so let me fuss at you. Can I fuss at you? Yes, I can. So I'm not going to fuss at you, but so what I want to do and what I challenge you to do, Patricia, is and this is so fun. It's not fun really when you go through the process, but it is fun when you're done. What I do, and I tell everyone, is go print off bank statements, credit card statements, whatever it is that shows where you swiped and you have record of your money that came in and went out. Go print that stuff off, and I want you to go through and add everything up. How much of it was, I just had a client the other day that I was working with, and so she's going through and she's writing all of her grocery store stops, that total, gas, all this other stuff. And she printed off, she only got to do 2 months, but she printed off 3 months. And she called me the other day and she said, Simon, oh my gosh. Oh, I did not realize how many times I have stopped by the store. And so she's already like frustrated with herself. I said, this is good because you're opening up your eyes to how much you're doing. And now we can make adjustments. So I said, hurry up and finish adding up those numbers so we can get to the fun part of this. So anyway, Patricia Ford, I challenge you to print off about 2 months of documents and information of how your money was going in and out. And then we get specific with it. How much of it was groceries? How much of it was gas? How much was electric bill, water bill, so on and so forth, so that we can really get to the bottom of not only how much went out, but where was it going? Some of it is valid. Some of it is not. And so what does Anitra, teacher, baker, party maker say? She said, when I started learning my numbers, I could take authority. Don't you make me throw this thing. You cannot use the word authority like that around me. It just does something. Y'all listen to what I'm saying. She said, when she started learning her numbers, I could take authority. If all you learn is this and all you learn is this, there's no authority in that because this is not what you own. This is not what you own. All of that has to be paid back. That is lender items. I'm sorry, those are borrower items. Those are borrower mentality. She said when she started learning her numbers, in other words, let me put it in a different language. She said, when I started stewarding what I have better, when I started monitoring and maintaining what I'm blessed with and what I have, then I begin to operate in authority. There's certain principles. There's a certain mentality that you have to have to get out of the debt trap. That's why I started here earlier about throwing that old mentality away and putting on a new mindset. And one of the beautiful principles I already told you all were that if you operate as a peacemaker, oh, blessed are the peacemakers. When you operate as a peacemaker, you are less likely to have to get in debt. You are less likely to have problems that are going to cost you money. Pastor Christy Conyers said that printout will humble you. Yes, it will. That printout, listen what I'm telling y'all, because I do it all the time, and every single time it humbles me. When I get my calculator and I get my printouts and I have to do the math, and then every time you hit enter, listen to what I'm saying. You're going to keep looking at that number, and when you realize you're still not done, that's when it gets you. When you realize I'm not done, and this number is already outrageous. This number is already disrespectful. This number is already diabolical. I don't like this number. Where did this number come from? Man. Oh, she preaching now. That's why y'all got to tune in Sunday, 10 a.m. to the Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church on YouTube or on Facebook. And so she said, Anitra, amen, did say, woo, indeed. And Pastor Conyers said, it will make you pull them pots out and chill at home. It sure will. It sure will, because you'll realize how much, whether it's Target, whether it's Costco, whether it's Walmart, whether it's Food Lion, whether it's, matter of fact, y'all know y'all stores y'all go to, whether it's Dollar General, Dollar Store, Dollar Tree. Where do y'all get y'all groceries from? Where are some of those places where's the majority, where's the store that you go to that you spend a lot of your money on groceries at? Or I don't know if I should put the store, it's those fast food places. Yeah, let's deal with that. Where do you go? What fast food place gets a majority of your money during the month? That's what I want to know. Where do you go that gets a majority of your money? Oh, Shirley Fraser, you tuned in on this morning. Happy to have you. Ooh, I got to interview you one day too, Shirley Fraser. I have to, because you're an entrepreneur as well. And actually, while everyone's listening in, next Saturday, if everything goes well, and I understand that Pastor Conyers is a very busy person, so I want you all to know, if her schedule doesn't change, because I know that it can, I will be interviewing Pastor Conyers next Saturday morning. She will be here live next Saturday. So definitely you want to tune in. We're going to have a fun time, and hopefully she behaves while she's here. And so she'll be being interviewed next Saturday morning. We're going to be talking about entrepreneurship. And let me keep up with a lot of y'all messages here, because y'all just having a whole conversation down here. And so she did talk about pulling those pots out. Patricia Ford saying she's totally in agreement. You know what I like right here? Shirley Fraser put Walmart. I see a lot of women in the comment section, and I'm so happy, because this mentality that women have to be broke, busted, and disgusted, and paycheck to paycheck, and can't maintain themselves, and women aren't prepared for retirement, we're going to bust those statistics out of the water and all of those myths, because we don't have to walk into that stuff. We can make changes. We can make adjustments. And so let's see. Walmart's taking a lot of money. Shirley Fraser pockets. And let's see. Nicole said, I will make you delete your Amazon and Shin cart. And so I don't know. Maybe she's talking about she spends a lot of money at Amazon. Maybe. I might misunderstand it. Okay, Shirley Fraser, all love to you. Oh, Anitra, Wingstop. Ooh, Wingstop became Me Stop. And so what's funny is I don't eat out as much. I usually eat from home. I eat a lot from the house. I go buy groceries, and then I eat from home. And another myth that for everyone, when they say if you eat healthy, it's more expensive, I really don't think so, because starting off, it might feel that way because you're trying to eat so much. But once you start a routine and a pattern of eating healthy or buying your groceries and eating from home and learning how to cook things in bulk, sometimes you actually quit eating as much and it doesn't take as much to fill you up. And also, you save a lot of money because you're cooking in bulk. And so, when you're hungry, you're not rushing at the last minute to go to the store. How many people on here have ever gone to the store when they're hungry? Let's say you got done working out or you was traveling, whatever the case may be, and you had to go to a store or a place to order food and you were hungry, you were starving. Of course, your bill got disrespectful. So anyway, as we continue to go through, I'm trying to think of a place that really gets my money a lot as far as fast food. I just don't go to fast food a lot. Maybe one of the Chinese places sometimes, but not really. I really don't eat out a lot. So as we talk about this debt trap, guys, and the mentality that we have to get out of when it comes to this debt trap, let's go a little bit further. I was talking about how paying for things in full, paying for things in cash, that mentality is becoming extinct in America. And that's one of the things, oh my, if you talk to a young person nowadays and you say, well, you know what, you just might have to wait to get it. That sounds foreign to people in America. It sounds foreign that you might have to wait or you might have to save up enough money to get it, because their mentality is, why do I have to wait when I have a car? Why do I have to wait when I can get it and just pay these people back later? Why? Because it is a trap, because it is not safe. It is not wise. Certain things are not worth the squeeze. You have to shift your mentality. You got to shift your mentality or you're going to fall into the trap. Do you think the banks made credit cards? Do you think they made these cards for you and the convenience for you? Or do you think that they made it for the convenience of themselves? Credit cards were created and invented because they did the research and the work to realize that if they hand these out, the banks could make tons and tons of money off of people. They are betting on we don't have the discipline and we don't have the focus and we don't have the finances to pay this back in time before they charge us any interest. And the banks are winning because they bet on this, they gambled on this plastic card, and it worked for them. And so you have to be careful. One of the things you can do is wean yourself off of this card if you have a credit card problem. Learn how to wean yourself off this card. You wean yourself off of the trap. Stop trying to keep up with and have everything else that everybody has. Learn to be comfortable where you are. So there's a lot of little pointers and tips and tricks that I'm talking to you about. And so you have to understand that at a young age, we have been trained and it has become a habit, a pattern of mentality for us to acquire debt at a young age so that we stay in this pattern, that we stay in this routine. You have to understand that the financial institutions are double dipping on you. Listen to what I'm saying. The bank gives you credit card. The bank gives you a loan. The bank gives you a mortgage. The bank finances your car. How's the bank double dipping on you? Well, where do you store your money? Where do you put your money when you get paid? Where do your direct deposits go? How convenient was that? Where do you go to cash that check? Think about it. It goes to the bank. Do you know that the bank, when the bank receives your direct deposits, they are able to, once that new money hits their account, they are able to loan out a portion of your funds. They're able to loan out your money to someone else or another entity and collect interest from it. The bank is double dipping on you. The bank is using your money to become the lender. The bank is using what you have to lend out. The bank uses what other people have. This is just one of the ways that banks make money. They lend out what you have They give you a little interest sometimes if you actually put your money in a savings account, and they keep the arbitrage. They keep the difference. So if the bank lends out what you have, then that means technically you already have it. So technically you could become the lender if you wanted to. There's a way to do it, but everyone doesn't have that education and that information. So you can become the bank. Let's move on past that, because I want to deal with this debt trap, and I want you to understand. I'm just bringing some parallels so that you can understand the system that we're in and the pattern that's happening and why you have the mentality you have when it comes to this debt and how to get out of it. And you must understand that when they're teaching you and training you to be in debt at such a young age, it's all fun and games and it's cool. And of course, your credit score can be out of whack when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, so on and so forth. But what happens when it's time to buy a house? Nicole said, looking at the numbers will make you delete your secret carts. In other words, oh my goodness, not the secret carts. Don't do this to me. Nicole, don't do this to me. Don't tell me there's secret carts out there. If you start talking about secret carts, is the cart a secret anymore? So anyway, if you got secret carts and those secret carts are costing you, those carts are dangerous. You know why? Because Amazon. What if Amazon only took debit? What if Amazon didn't take credit? The level at which those carts are full will be different. Oh, some people telling on me. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? Let's see. People are telling on me. Let's get down to it. Okay, Anitra, teacher, baker, party maker says Zaxby, sir. Okay, I must admit, I forgot. Had a brief lapse in memory. Zaxby's, yeah, those are my dogs. Zaxby's my people. I think we related. And so, yeah, Zaxby's does get a good amount of money on me. Is it Yvette Steele? She put Zaxby's. Yeah, people busting me out. That's fine. Okay. Enough of that. All right. Tony Sherman says, worst thing to do is to grocery shop when hungry. Oh my gosh, it is. It's bad. It's bad. If you're hungry and you go in the grocery store, please just go rush over to the produce section and go grab some grapes and fruit tray. Just hurry up and get there and hold it in your hand while you look for everything else to remind yourself that you're not going to do what your flesh wants you to do, and which is go grab everything in there and go crazy. And let's see. Anitra says, yes, indeed, it is the worst. You end up with more than what was on the list. Even by the checkout area, when you see all those Snickers, Butterfingers, and all that, and you're hungry, you can tear one of them things open real quick and get busy, and you're not even going to get full. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Other debt traps, Afterpay and Klarna. Lord, I don't even know what that is. See, Nicole is talking about secret carts. Pastor Christy Conyers is talking about Afterpay and Klarna. I don't even know what that is. So that's how far out the loop I am. So there's some other stuff out there that are traps. And I'm guessing those are other debt traps that'll get you caught up and throw off your finances. Because Afterpay, what is that? Pay after? No, pay now. So once again, that concept of pay in full, like Tony Sherman put pay in cash, we have to pay attention to these things and get out of the debt trap. There are so many creative ways to get out of the debt trap. And if you don't know how to get out of debt, hit me up on the side and I'll send you some information that may be helpful for you. Anitra says, the bank is telling us that we are the investment and we do not see it. You're going to make me throw this thing. Oh, my God. Can we let that marinate? I'm so serious. You are the investment. The bank sees you as the asset. You have assets, you have liabilities. Liabilities are the things that cause money to leave your pockets. Liabilities are the things that cost you. Let's say you have a car and it's not in Turo and it's not whatever being rented out, and you just use it. It's a liability. It's just costing you every month. You know, it's debatable. Somebody can say, well, I use it to go to work, so it makes me money. Okay, whatever. My point is, liability are things that cost you. Money is leaving. Asset brings cash flow. Assets allow you to make money. The bank sees you. You are an asset. I don't care what you thought about yourself before. You have to understand, shift the mindset. You're an asset. You're valuable. Who are you valuable to? Well, the bank that says you're valuable because you give them a direct deposit every month, sometimes twice a month. Who knows? Some of y'all might be bringing the bank even more money than twice a month, depending on how many streams of income that you have. So the bank sees you as an asset and they see you as an investment because they can make money off your money. What am I saying? The bank makes money off of your digital deposits, something that is not even necessarily tangible. The intangible digital deposit that you make, the bank makes money off of it. Whatever the bank does, you can do as well. Let me move past that. Okay. We have the same ability as the bank. Wow. Okay. I'm a little behind on that one. Nicole had to confess it to be set free. I like that. Buy now online and pay later. That's what that afterpay is. Ooh, I don't like that. That's a setup. Okay. Okay. Brandon Holden. That's my boy. Brandon, nice to have you here online. It says, yes, afterpay was a huge trap for me. I had to stop using it. We got so many confessions and testimonies on today that people are talking about these different things. I can't even imagine. I would run from afterpay. That sounds crazy. You know how much debt and things you can pile up on top of you because, oh, just pay later. Who does that benefit? Does that benefit me or the person I got to pay later? It's a trap. We have to get out of this debt trap. Y'all turning up on here. Okay. What's going to happen when I got 1,000 people? I don't even know if I can be able to read all of it. The bank is wicked and giving me a little interest. No way. Patricia Ford. We're going to talk about how much interest that bank is giving you when I run into you. And we're going to make sure that you have your funds in a high yield interest savings account. That way you can maximize the interest that the bank is giving you and limit how much they get back instead. Because if that bank is giving you less than 1%, but they're loaning your money out at 10% interest to someone, then that means they're making at least 9%. And they give you the 1. When they get that 10%, they give you the 1% and they keep the 9. So we got to cut a lot of that out. Anyway, Anitra says Klarna, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it properly. Klarna, Afterpay, and Sezzle buy now, pay later. I don't even know what Sezzle is. See, y'all got these things, y'all. Just okay. Just thought about buying on Afterpay. LOL. Don't do it. Don't do it. We're going to rebuke Afterpay and all this other stuff. We got to open up. You know what? What if we became Afterpay? What if we position ourselves for people to, instead of us using their service, what if we become the service that people use? We have a whole nother conversation in here right now. And so actually, if you're still on, Brandon Holden, tell everybody your business and what you do. Drop that in the chat section as well. And hopefully we can have you on and interview you as well, Brandon, if you're still on. Let everybody know what you do and Brandon is still here, I believe. And let them know what service you provide. Okay, I got something for y'all. Y'all think I can't keep up with these comments. I got something for y'all. Okay, Patricia Ford said, thank you. Y'all gonna make me laugh. Don't make me do this. I like the AHT. And so that's a classic. Brandon says, Afterpay is okay for here and there, but I was abusing it. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when it gets too abusive, out of control, and you don't have it in control. Every time I paid it off, I bought something else, and it became a monthly bill at that point. Does Afterbill come with like interest as well? That's what I'm wondering. Like with Afterpay, is it like 20? Is it like credit card interest, like 20%, 10%, 8%? What does it look like? Anitra says, please do a live on these buy now, pay later companies. I might try to. I don't know. We might do like I might do a video, or either I have one of y'all come on here and testify and talk about this stuff. Some of y'all experts. We might do like a group conversation on these afterpay, Sezzles, and whatever else. And so Sister Shirley Fraser says, let's do it. There we go. BH Holding Up. I like, see how y'all use that. See how I use the play on words, last name Holden. It's called Holding Up TV Mountain. So if you're like in the Liberty County, Hinesville, Savannah, Jessup, Glenville areas, you know, I'm not sure how far out he'll go. Bryan County, Richmond Hill, Pooler. If you're in any of those areas and you're tuning in and you need TV mounting, check them out on Facebook. And no problem at all, Brandon. You know, I'm sure back in the day when I had you doing stuff, whether we're running laps, suicides on the basketball court, or y'all had to listen to my fussing, you know, you did what you had to do. So now it's my turn to give back. Okay, so it's no interest. So with Afterpay, it's no interest, but it can throw your budget off. Okay, I see where that can hurt you, because if you say, okay, I'll pay later, oh, okay, pay later, the next month, now your budget is kind of thrown off. That's interesting. So I wonder how they make their money on Afterpay. Yeah, we do have to do some research so I can understand it better. Okay, and okay, Yvette put good idea. All right. And Shirley Fraser says, it used to be an AA credit union in Liberty County. All right, so oh, that's my boy right there. That's my boy, Jordan. Love you, Jordan. Always. I don't care if we ain't speak in 50 million years. Always got love for you, man. Anyway, I got a lot of respect for Jordan just for as a young man and the different things he did to push himself in life to get to where he's going. So anyway, hard work pays off. So anyway, guys, as we continue to go through this, and I know I don't want to hold you all too much longer, understand it's all fun and games when you're in college and you're going through these different things in life. You have to understand, I didn't know that. That's interesting. That's very interesting when that you put that on there, Shirley Fraser, that there was an African-American credit union in Liberty County. And I know there's like I guess we call it a black-owned bank in Savannah as well. Well, there was a while back. Not sure if there still is. But as we go through this, it's all fun and games until now you want to advance in life and you've over leveraged yourself. And listen to what I'm saying. There's this thing called debt to income ratio. Debt to income ratio. We have to be careful because we can throw our DTI off, debt to income ratio off, and then we can't make the moves that we want to make financially. Then we can't find it. Like there are certain things, and I know there's different ways to grow a business and expand a business, scale a business. And sometimes people leverage debt to scale or expand their business. And you can have business debt, you can have personal debt, which is attached to your social security number. Regardless of how you cut it, you want to put yourself in a position. Thank you very much, Anitra. Shirley Fraser said it was with Dorchester Academy. It is still in Savannah, Carver. Okay. Cool. And so debt to income ratio, when you're trying to make moves, I'll deal with the personal. Jordan Gilliard says still dropping gems. Why? Because for years I've been dropping gems to people and now I'm just putting it on a platform. This is nothing new for anybody who thinks it's new. It's nothing new. Always been doing this. If you've been around me, you're going to get a nugget whether you like it or not. I just throw it on you, put it on you. You got to get. Why? Because I want to see people get better. I want to see people genuinely improve. And we can do it. We can do it as a group. We can do it united, and we're going to shift and move. This is Coach Steele's Finance Training. Make sure that you subscribe on YouTube to Coach Steele's Finance Training. And so what happens is, listen to what I'm saying, women, minorities, anybody who's listening, having financial problems, I'm dealing with statistics. The reason why we can't maneuver through the financial world is because of this trap. Now when that lady, now when that woman, now when that minority, whoever it is ready to go buy a home, ready to finance a car, ready to expand their business, ready to scale, they can't make the moves they can because they're in a trap. Now the bank is telling you, listen to this, listen to the logic. Oh, I want y'all to catch this. I'm dropping so much revelation and understanding in here. Listen to what the bank is going to tell you. I want to give you what you need, this loan, whatever it is, to help you get into the house, to help you acquire a car for transportation for work, or the funds you need to expand your business. But the problem is your debt to income ratio is too high. Your DTI is above 43%. Your DTI is above 45%, whatever that bank standard is. Every bank has different standards. Some of them have even higher standards, but your credit score has to be immaculate for them to look past certain things. I can't give you this financing. I can't give you what you need because we don't believe you have the capacity to pay it back. So now you're trapped and limited because the bank says you're not qualified. Now you have a job. Now you have income. When you were 18, 19, 20, in your infancy, growing into your financial world, you had no job. But you were extremely qualified for student loans. You were extremely qualified for those credit cards based off potential that you would have money in the future. Listen to the hypocrisy. But now that I have you in the trap, and now that you owe me, and you have over leveraged yourself, and you're in this rat race, in this system that we have encapsulated you in, now I cannot give you what you're asking for. I baited you. I strung you along. You followed the carrot. You're in the trap, and now you're limited. Now you are on a debt budget. I only can give you so much now. I have you trapped enough to where I don't have to give you anything else. You just need to pay me. You can't qualify, but you do qualify to pay me forever. Get out of this hole. Congratulations. And so there's a trap that is set up for you to be in, for you to be a worker and be a slave to the lender. If you borrow, you end up being a slave to the lender and you over leverage yourself. And it's all fun and games until we get to that point, and now we can't get out. Now we can't do what we want to do. Now you're stuck renting. For how long? There are some people that are stuck renting for 20, 30 years because DTI, debt trap, credit score, you name it. All these different things have happened. Thank you for tuning in, Lisa Scott. Happy to have you here. And tuning in, Coach Steele's Finance Training. We're talking about getting out of this debt trap, Lisa. We're talking about how society says minority women and women in general are living paycheck to paycheck, about 70% of them, and that most women and minorities are least likely to be prepared for retirement. But when you look at the statistics, it's basically saying most of America as a whole, 66%, is paycheck to paycheck, and most of America as a whole are not prepared for retirement. So it doesn't matter what color or creed you are, a lot and most people are falling into this category. And I want you all to know that it's no longer time for fun and games and to continue to get put in these traps, but we have to find a way to get out. And what's one of the creative ways that we get out of debt? What the bank does and what wealthy people do, one thing that I do is we acquire assets. We have to get out of the mindset of acquiring debt and shift ourselves to the mindset of acquiring assets. Someone if you're listening in, type in the comment section, or if you're on YouTube Live in the chat, type in acquire assets. Shift to acquiring assets. Shift our mentality to acquiring assets. Acquire assets. We need to be typing in there, acquire assets, acquire assets. What are assets? Well, there's different asset classes. Now, most people estimate or say that there's like 7 different asset classes, but I believe there's at least 8 minimum, at least 8. But I'm gonna write a book about it. Whatever they say, the number is, I'm going to write a book about a new asset class that I thought of. And so Anitra has put acquire assets. Tony Sherman has put get assets. Kelvin Conyers has put assets. And so as you see this, we are going to, and we can, and we will acquire assets, because assets bring in income. Shift from acquiring debt to acquiring assets. Listen, when you shift your mindset to acquire assets, you have shifted your mindset to be able to pay for things in full. When you shift to acquiring assets, things that bring in income, then now you're shifting your mindset to be able to pay in full, pay in cash, be able to acquire. Courtney Burton, definitely happy to have you on. Corey Burton comes in and says acquire assets. And so you have to understand, okay, Miss Loretta Rose, a real estate agent. Miss Loretta, make sure you tap in and put, what realty company you're with or how people can reach out to you and things like that in the comments section. Feel free. And so we have to acquire assets. Why? We rush to acquire debt. We will jump through hoops to acquire debt in a mindset only to borrow. Oh. We acquire debt with the mindset only to borrow. I'm not talking about people who might go get a $5,000 business loan and they get some t-shirts and some designs and all this other stuff, and they create a t-shirt company and they acquire all of these different assets through leveraging, and then now they're bringing in cash flow. They pay off the $5,000 to get the business started, and now they're cash flowing. I'm not talking about those people. Understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about people, we are rushing to acquire debt just to pay someone back. But you need to rush to acquire assets so that you can bring in cash flow, so that you can bring in money. That's the mentality and shift that we have to have. Now, there's different asset classes from stocks, bonds, gold, commodities, even cryptocurrency is seen as an asset. Okay, Vicky Billingsley comes in with assets. Loretta says she is with Caldwell Banker, Southern Coast. And so I used to play pickleball a lot with Loretta and her husband, and I had fun down there at the YMCA. I don't know if my knees can still handle the pickleball field. But anyway, we have to acquire assets. One of the assets that I love to acquire, and I show a little favoritism and a little bias to, is, and okay, we have Mickey David here saying acquire assets. One of the things that I really love acquiring is real estate. I think real estate is an amazing asset to acquire. It's beautiful because there's nothing like it for a number of reasons. I acquire real estate. I don't care if you acquire real estate through wholesaling or if you're doing real estate business through flipping, through buy and hold, if you're using the Burr method, and whatever it is that you use real estate for. I like buy and hold because buy, hold, and then I rent out. So if you buy, hold, and rent out, then you put tenants in the property and they pay rent on the 1st through the 5th of every month. So whether I'm awake or asleep, and of course, tomorrow is the 1st. So we know what's going to be happening the next few days. Regardless, that money comes in. And of course, you have to be wise because if the property does have a mortgage attached to it, then of course you need to make sure you make that mortgage payment at minimum. And also you do have profit for yourself as well. So you take care of the overhead, whatever that overhead may be, whether it's the mortgage payment, property tax, insurance, property management, lawn maintenance, whatever those requirements are, operating expenses. And of course you keep the profit. And so therefore, through that asset that I've acquired, it brings in money. And what happens then? Now, let's say I want a car. Now, let's say I want to go to, like Nicole had the secret carts or whatever it is that I have. I'm going to use the asset to pay for the liabilities. I'm going to use the asset or the products that I create. And of course, one of the entrepreneurs that has had an interview on this show, Anitra, who's on in the comment section, she makes these beautiful candles. And so when she makes these candles, she has made them. And then, of course, she eventually sells them. And through selling them, she makes a profit. And from that profit, she can now buy other things or expand her business. This is Coach Steele's Finance Training. Make sure that as you're listening in, you do go to the YouTube channel, Coach Steele's Finance Training, and subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Coach Steele's Finance Training. I'm live every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. on YouTube and on Facebook. Even if you listen in on Facebook, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, for everyone that's listening in, you have a chance at eventually winning I got to get that number right. Almost messed up. You have a chance at winning $50. When can you possibly win $50? Well, we are almost at 300 subscribers on YouTube. That's why I almost said $300, but I'm not giving away $300 unless the Lord just moves me in such a way. And even if I did it, I would cut it up into give it for multiple winners, not just one. But I'm going to give away $50 when we get to 300 subscribers. We are very, very close, guys. And we're still talking about the debt trap and getting out of debt. And I will show you all how close we are to 300 subscribers. When we get to 300 subscribers, I'm going to do a $50 giveaway. And it says right now that, let's see how it shows up on the screen. It says right now that I am at 287 subscribers right now. So we're at 287. We're about 13 people away from 300. And when we get to 300, I'm going to give $50 away. Feel free to go on the YouTube channel. You'll see all these beautiful videos about different things, debt in America, entrepreneurship, interviews, dividend stocks, should I buy a house, you name it. There's all type of interviews on there. If you missed any of the lives from the previous Saturdays, planning for retirement, how bad do you want it, all these different videos on here. Feel free to go on there and watch that stuff. So back to the main screen. So I'll end up giving Mr. Reggie, calm down. So on YouTube, one of the YouTube subscribers said 300 sounds great. And so listen to what I'm saying, guys. I'm going to give $50 away when we get to 300 subscribers. And I may just do $50 or I may do 25 and 25 so we can have two winners. Now, keep in mind, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to the instructions. Down there in the ticker where it says Debt Trap, subscribe, YouTube, you know what? I spelled coach wrong. Let me fix that real quick. That is a crying shame. Lord have mercy. I don't like that. Let's fix that real quick. And so where it says down there on the ticker, Coach Steele's The Debt Trap. Let me get out of here and back to chat. Coach Steele's Finance Training. And then, of course, it has the YouTube channel name at Coach Steele Finance. Look at that email down there. Make sure you write down that email address, coachsteelefinance@gmail.com. If you want a chance at winning the $50, or either I'm going to give away two $25 gift cards. If you want a chance at winning it, you need to email me at Coach Steele Finance. Email me, coachsteelefinance@gmail.com. And in that email, you need to write down one of the titles of one of the YouTube videos. Whatever YouTube video you want on my YouTube channel, just write down one of the titles of one of the videos and make sure you're subscribed to. A subscriber is going to win the money. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, shoot me an email, and write down one of the titles of the YouTube videos, and you will be in the drawing as a potential winner of that $50, or if I do $25 a piece. Now, of course, if I get some type of huge blessing or something crazy in the next, before I get to 300, then of course I don't mind giving away $300. What is $300? pennies. Anyway, so someone did ask, where can we get your candles, Anitra, as well? And let me wrap this up. Let me get close to the end here because I want us to get out of the financial trap. We have to acquire assets. It's not difficult to acquire assets like people think. And that's something else I want you to understand. It is not as difficult to acquire assets as you think, but it does start, and we'll deal with that another day about acquiring assets and how to do that, whether you do it on a small scale, whether you do it little by little, or whether you do it on a larger scale. It's not difficult to acquire assets, but it does start with our budget. It does start with how we manage money. And when you start doing your budget properly and managing money better, you'll get more confident and you'll have more confidence in acquiring assets. And so I started with one property and it began to multiply to more properties because I began to get more confident in my budget. And when I got confident in my budget and maintaining, like Anitra mentioned, learning my numbers, like Pastor Conyers mentioned, looking at that paper, doing the math, getting that calculator out, adding up where your money is going, identifying where those dollars are going, you get more confident. So don't run away from what is going to seem like frustrating to get those numbers and understand what's in your budget, what you have coming in monthly, what you have going out, and where each dollar is specifically going, because that's what's going to give you the confidence to acquire assets. Also, I already talked to you all about credit cards at an all-time high, and there is a way out. And that's what I want to talk to you all about. It starts one with learning your budget. But if you are extremely in, and it doesn't even have to be extreme, whether it's a little bit of debt or whether it's a lot of debt and you need guidance, if you need advice, feel free to shoot me an email. I will respond to that email and we can figure out if I need to point you in the right direction, if you need to figure out how to get out of debt, how to pay that mortgage off, how to pay your consumer debt off. You may not have a mortgage, but we can have a conversation to help you to get to your destination so that you can be in a better place financially. And once again, I definitely appreciate everyone from tuning in. I already told you all, I knew this morning was going to be epic. I knew it was going to be a classic, and you all have done an amazing job of participating, and you kind of challenged me as you all were commenting in those comment sections. I was like, whoa, okay, all right, let me keep up with what everybody's got going on, and you all kept up with what I had going on. Definitely appreciate everyone. I do not count it lightly that you took time out to have a conversation with me about financial literacy. This is part of the way we are going to get ourselves to where we need to be financially. This is how, as a team, Coach Steele's Finance Training, this is how we are going to be able to expand knowledge. This is a hub. This is a location. This is a platform where we will share information to get us to where we need to be financially. I do not want to be at the mountaintop by myself. I want to be able to be at the mountaintop with the rest of Coach Steele's Finance Training team as we continue to huddle up. I want all of us at the mountaintop, and you know we got to have a cookout if we up there. So I want to be able, I don't want to have to bring the charcoal and the salmon by myself. I need somebody else to bring the hot dogs, the hamburgers, and whatever else that we need when we get to this mountaintop together as a family. Definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, show some love. We're going to get to that 300. Y'all going to make me give $50 away, and we're all going to be happy because it will make all of us better. I think that is about it. And once again, peace, love. Appreciate you for tuning in. I'll see you next Saturday morning, 9 a.m. We are going to have an epic guest coming in to speak next Saturday, Pastor Christy Conyers. We are going to be talking about financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and mental health. Yes. So it's going to be a combination of all of those. That's going to be another classic interview. You don't want to miss it. So make sure Saturday morning you get everything situated and out of the way. Whether you're cleaning, whether you get your popcorn and you sit down, if you fix your breakfast at 7:45, have all of it ready. We're going to start at 9 a.m. We'll be on time and we'll be ready to rock. Thank you for tuning in once again. Peace and blessings.